Welcome back. In our last episode we caught the very last of the summer sunshine, taking a short sea journey down to the wonderful coastal town of Southwold before returning to the Broads of Norfolk and Suffolk. In this episode we take you to one or two new destinations on the Broads. We have a look at some powerboat racing, some wonderful meals, before we finally bump into an old friend that we haven't seen for a while. The yacht station at Alton Broad is located right next door to the beautiful Nicholas Everett Park. The park itself seems much busier recently, not surprising, because overnight in August Banksy appeared on one of the bridges along with other installations in the area. Although the council had to remove part of that for flood risks, people are still coming in droves and having a look and taking photos. But we also wanted to get something to eat and we decided to visit a newly refurbished park cafe where we had breakfast and a few sandwiches to take away for lunch. We decided to stay in Alton Broad for a few days and base ourselves from there. We took friends and family out on day trips and returned to the berth in the evening and went out for some wonderful meals. But also we were able to get a grandstand view of the British Powerboat Championships. It was truly exhilarating watching these boats that for just a few occasions per year get the chance to race up and down the Broad at over 100 miles an hour, something that only Friday night could aspire to. We enjoyed it was a great day, but it was time to move on and go to our next destination. Our next port of call was at Borough St Peter, the wonderful Waveney River Centre. The showers are warm and the pub is friendly, but we were placed right on the very last berth available and next to where the day boats moor up, and sadly we had a little mishap. Well, we didn't. What happened is one of the day boats decided that they were going to give it a full fist of throttle and ran straight into the side of our boat. It's a small scratch and it will polish out at the end of the season, however it's really frustrating when those things happen. We totally understand that people are amateurs and they're just out for the day, but on this occasion the shore staff were giving them very firm and good instructions, and the person at the helm was just deciding to give it a full fist of power forward and backwards each time. We'll learn a lesson next time and maybe go on an inner berth. The following day we had another close encounter when this chap behind us in a hire boat decided to zoom up behind, wasn't paying attention and nearly planted his mud weight in the back of our cockpit. He then floored it and came past us and just sped off down the river. Those moments are quite scary, but we eventually found a lovely mooring and spent the day with our family before saying goodbye to them and then just moving ourselves slowly up the river to some more idyllic settings. It was really evident that seasonal change was all around us. The colours that adorned the trees were fantastic, and we moved out of the River Waveney back into the Yare and made our way up to another favourite destination, Rockland Broad. The evening trip through the Broad made owning a boat so worth it. It's moments like this you just simply can't buy. They just occur and they happen, and this evening was just pure wonder. river, this was a wild, tiny little cut down to the Staithe at the end. And then I wonder, with all the planning regulations in place for the Broads Authority, how suddenly planning permission is given for something like this. Just ridiculously. As we left the Broad, we pushed back into the river and enjoyed the most magnificent evening cruise to where we were going to be mooring up for the evening. We only had a couple of days left on the Broads before we'd have to head back home, and so we didn't really plan to do very much again except for relax, have a walk or two, and then take the slow, lovely journey back to Alton Broad, through the loch and back to our own berth. The return journey wasn't rushed, and we returned to Rockland on the way through, pausing and enjoying the solitude of the empty moorings, the only ones we'd found in the entire time we were away. But we pushed on, and then stopped at Somerleyton, the Duke's Head, just for a short while, before the last part of the journey. Sometimes, when you're packing up to go home, you decide to have one last look around the marina. There were a few boats on the visitor moorings we didn't recognise, but there was one that we really did and we knew well. In fact, it was our old Picton Spirit 28 Two's company, but looking fabulous in the sunshine after its new refit. The new canopy looked really stunning, and we were pleased to see that the EVA flooring that we'd installed a few years ago was still looking good inside. It would be really great to have a look at her a little bit closer. We'd heard that the owner had spent a lot of time and money on the engines and outdrives and had got her just perfect. One thing that thrilled me more than anything was that the name Two's Company was still with the boat. It was a real joy to see her. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. We really look forward to creating more content for you and hope to see you soon.